Hello, fellow gamers and YouTubers. My name is Zyg or Zig or Z, whichever you'd prefer to call me. I'm here to do a 2-year review on Fallout 4. A little bit about me. I'm an original gamer. When I had the first Pong game that ever came out back in the 70s, I'm 51 years old. I've been gaming my whole life. And my last console was a Nintendo NES. Before I discovered computer PC gaming, I used to game strictly on the PC, but I harbor no ill will towards console users. Now, my first little beef here with Fallout 4, it is not the game that it was hyped up to be. Back in 2013, I had uh, inside information telling me that it was going to be set in Boston, that the Enclave was not going to be present, and that it was supposed to be an open world RPG. Well, I'm shocked and disgusted. Okay, 2008 we saw Fallout 3. 2010 we saw Fallout New Vegas, which by my reckoning is the best of all the Fallout games. And this goes back to I've played Fallout Wasteland, Fallout 1, Fallout 2, Fallout Tactics, and a few other Fallout based games. Fallout 3 was interesting and one of the first Fallout games to be done in 3D. Fallout New Vegas followed it shortly after, 2 years later. Pretty good game, excellent writing. Fallout 4, the writing falls flat. I have a 14-year-old that could probably have written a better game, better dialogue, everything. The dialogue window is terrible. The graphics, they're really not that much different than Fallout 3 or Fallout New Vegas. They might be a little bit more intense. There might be a little bit more physics, but there's a lot of physics areas that were left without being touched. Bethesda claims that they've got a new game engine. Well, all I've seen so far is the same old issues that I got with the Gamebryo engine. Lockup crashes, long load times, and that's not because of my system. My system is actually way faster and way above any spec that Bethesda has for this game specifications. I'm running 3.8 gigahertz Ryzen Threadripper, 64 gigs of RAM, two 8 gigabyte AMD Radeon RX 580s in SLI configuration and Crossfire, whichever you prefer. And I'm still getting all the same issues that guys on low end PCs are getting. Bethesda's game engine is terrible. The game itself is terrible. It is lacking, seriously lacking in writing and just general everything else. If it wasn't for modders, Fallout 3 probably wouldn't have been that great. Fallout New Vegas wouldn't have been that great. Well, Fallout New Vegas was good anyway, but it was made better by modders who fixed it. Bethesda seems to expect those modders out there to fix all their games. Well, it's kind of hard to do when you give us a broken tool to do it with. The Creation Kit is probably the worst modding tool I've ever seen. The GEC was so much easier to use, so much more comprehensive, and you didn't have to be logged into their website. And that brings me to the stolen mods all over Bethesda.net. When somebody who runs the biggest mod website, most popular mod website, offers to help you moderate for stolen mods and things like that, and you turn them down, that was not smart. It was one of the dumbest moves I've ever seen. The whole paid mod things really turns me off. It's actually interfered with actually getting decent mods. It's all little tiny mods that nobody wants, or very few people want. 2 years. I waited 2 years from 2015 to 2017 to buy Fallout 4. I waited for the Game of the Year edition so I didn't have to nickel and dime on each one of the little DLCs that came out, or spend $50 for a season pass, which I thought was kind of a joke. Instead, I paid $59.95 for all of it, and I added money in because I bought the Pip-Boy edition because I collect the Pip-Boys. It's really shocking and just horrific to see that my favorite game franchise has gone to pot. The Fallout 4 is the lamest. I can't even call it a role playing game because it's not. It's a action shooter with role RPG elements. And quite honestly, it's more like Doom meets The Sims meets Minecraft. It's point blank. It's just boring. It is the most boring game I've ever played. Fallout 3, I probably have 15, 16, 1700 hours into. Fallout New Vegas, I got 2,793 hours into. Fallout 4, I won't even see 600 unless I'm doing mod reviews and stuff like that. I mean, I've downloaded a bunch of mods because it was the only way to make the game actually playable. But before that, I played it through once on the vanilla, just plain Jane vanilla game. I beat it in 11 and a half hours. I'm shocked. Fallout New Vegas is so interesting that you didn't immediately pursue the main quest. You were distracted, easily distracted off to other quests, off to other side quests. Fallout 3 was pretty much the same way. Not as intensive. The writing wasn't as good. Fallout 4 is the most boring Fallout game I've ever played in my life, and I'm sorry I bought it. I'm sorry I wasted $115 total for the game and the Pip-Boy. It really, really, really was a waste of my time and money. It's a waste of a lot of people's time and money, and a lot of Fallout gamers that were true Fallout fans are really upset. And Bethesda doesn't care. They're all in it for the money now. They used to be about making a good game, now they're not. The other thing is these paid mods. I'm sorry, guys. It split the modding community. We have modders now that are on various modding sites they're still doing mods for fun, like I do. I play around with mods of my own. I haven't released any for Fallout 4 because I don't want them to wind up from one website onto Bethesda.net without my permission. You have modders now that are doing it for money. They're doing it just for money, and when they don't get their own way, they yank their mods down. And I'm not going to name names or speak to anybody specific. And there's a couple of modders out there that had their mods stolen, and I really do feel bad for them, and I hope that it all works out for them. But Fallout 4 is a joke. It is a joke. It's a joke played by Bethesda upon us. The creation kit is yet another joke. Bethesda wanted to make a decent Fallout game. Either subcontract it out to Obsidian because they know Fallout. They know Fallout better than you ever will. Or hire their writers and creators outright. Maybe just buy Obsidian. Why not bring them under your umbrella, and then you can have them do Fallout games for you, and have quality content and have happy customers. Yes, Fallout 4 might have outsold all other Fallout games, but it was all hype. It just works. It doesn't work. Your settlement system is broken. Things don't snap correctly. Without mods, the settlement system doesn't work very well at all. And it's a complete and total waste of somebody's time. I mean, okay, you have Preston Garvey who sends you out on these quests. Well, all these quests most of the Minutemen quests are about building settlements. Railroad quests are boring and broken. The Minutemen quests are broken. One playthrough, I got 6 times I got sent to the same spot to clear out the same thing. One right after the other for Minutemen quests. Railroad quests. Brotherhood of Steel quests. At level 11, one of the Brotherhood of Steel quests decided to send me to Far Harbor. One of the Railroad quests decided to send me to Nuka World. It wasn't on the map. It wouldn't post on the map. Excuse me. It's broken. It's broken. Okay. Emma Jean Takes a Lover. I don't know how many people have had the same problem I've had with it, but only twice. I've had about 6 playthroughs now. Only twice have I actually found Emma Jean in the spot where she's supposed to be. The rest of the time I've had to use a console command to complete the quest. That's broken. It's not been fixed. They just updated Fallout 4. It was all Creation Club stuff. Nothing to fix the broken quest lines. Nothing to fix anything anybody's complained about. they're more concerned with their paid mods or paid DLCs or paid mini DLCs, however you want to put it, um, than they are with fixing their game, and they think modders should do it. Well, modders can't do it because we don't have the tools to do it. My last two mods were for Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas. They've been up on two different websites for quite a while. I've recently hidden them and made them unavailable because I found part of one of them on Bethesda.net. I'm not going to fight with a DCMA takedown. I'm not going to pull that. It's just not worth the waste of my time. I have better things to do with my time than to fight with Bethesda about a stolen mod. Whoever stole it, good luck to you. They were written with script extender, and if you didn't catch it, well, it probably won't work right anyway. Doesn't work right anyway because it was broken. The upload didn't work properly on one of them. Anyway, Fallout 4, after 2 years, it's still not the game. It hasn't been updated. The game files themselves have not really been updated to fix broken quests and storylines. They have been updated to force you to download Bethesda.net Creation Club material that you really don't want. And being an older guy, I have a son who had an Xbox One. He had a whole bunch of games on it. And when Creation Club forced the download on him, it bricked his hard drive. Why? Do you think anybody in their right mind is only going to have one or two games on their Xbox One? As far as the graphics, and we were talking about bugged AI, companions not doing what they want to do, where they're supposed to do. The settlers all hanging out in one spot instead of doing what they're supposed to do. I've had it freeze. There's spots where it gets choppy, like in the Old North Church, underneath the when you're in the catacombs before you discover the railroad. And you have to stop, reload the game, and then it fixes itself. Well, I'm sorry. That breaks your immersion. There is no real immersion because they've already dictated your character. With the voice protagonist, they've dictated everything you do. You don't have any real choice. It's been one of my biggest grievances since the beginning. I've watched almost every single video I could about Fallout 4, Creation Club, paid mods, all of that, and I've got guys like Gopher and Oxhorn and Jim Sterling and Zarek Zakaron or Zakarian, MXR, and a few others out there that they produce quality YouTube videos that let you see what's what. I'm going to tell you right now, Fallout 4 is not a Fallout game. It does not belong in the Fallout franchise. Especially when you go on to the Creation Club and you can download armor from another game, weapons from another game. Correct me if I'm wrong, but Bethesda told about 5 or 6 years ago, Bethesda told the modder that no, you're not allowed to port weapons from Fallout 3 to Fallout New Vegas or Fallout New Vegas to Fallout 3. Aren't you breaking your own rules there, Bethesda? Yeah, it might be your content, but why import something from another game into a Fallout game? It doesn't belong there. Now it would be the same as porting in Fallout weapons into Witcher 3. It's just not right. All right, yes, you produce Elder Scrolls and Skyrim and all that. Why is there Skyrim stuff in Fallout 3 and Fallout 4? There shouldn't be. Okay? Each game should stand on its own legs. If it can't, then you shouldn't put it out. Bethesda claims that Bethesda's a AAA gaming company. No, I'm waiting for them to actually step up and toe the line as a AAA gaming company because I think CD Projekt Red has shown us what a AAA gaming company should be doing with Witcher 3. I played Witcher 3 for 27 hours. No, I did not sleep straight. No crashes, no bugs, no anything. Okay? There was one little spot of graphics where two horses seemed to be blended together for a minute there. That happens. No crashes, no slowdowns, no choppy screens, no choppy frames per second drop offs, nothing. It ran straight through, all the way through. And Fallout 4, yeah, first playthrough. Infinite long loading screens, as you can see in my video here. That doesn't exactly keep you immersed. And in fact, I encountered one loading screen in one playthrough that was longer than any loading screen I've ever experienced in Fallout New Vegas. And Fallout New Vegas, we know, had an issue with an infinite loading screen where it wouldn't stop loading and it would crash. Bethesda claims they have a brand new game engine. Well, I'm getting the same crash errors with your new game engine as I did with your Gamebryo game engine, and I know that all you did was polish up the Gamebryo engine and call it the Creation engine. Right? I've looked at the code. It's not what everybody thinks it is. It's Gamebryo with a little bit of junk piled on top of it to make things work. It doesn't work. It doesn't work well. I'm running a system that is so far in advance of what it's 100 times better than what their minimum system requirements are, and I'm getting all kinds of errors. The other thing is Bethesda doesn't seem to recognize the AMD cards. They don't like AMD cards for some reason. Because the Fallout 4 doesn't recognize my AMD cards. It doesn't even see that it's an AMD processor equipped. When it does, it tries to set it on low settings when I can run this. I can run this thing on ultra all day long. Even on low settings, and I tried it on low settings, it crashes. Ultra, it crashes. High, it crashes. And I didn't overclock anything. I don't have anything overclocked, but my system's powerful enough. I could run Fallout 4. I could run 4 instances of Fallout 4 at the same time, and it wouldn't bog my system down. Witcher 3, CD Projekt Red just blew me away with how the graphics quality of Witcher 3 and the gameplay. Fallout 4, we updated our gunplay. How? I don't see any difference other than the fact that all the weapons are now left-handed, and they were right-handed in every other single Fallout game. They were set up properly as in real world in every other Fallout game. In Fallout 4, they're left-handed. I play with a controller. I have arthritis in my fingers. It's very hard for me to use a keyboard to do this with. All my controls on my controller are left-handed. All of a sudden, they weren't. They were right-handed, but consistency, guys. There's no consistency here between the games. The lore is broken. Where do the cats come from? There's no explanation of that and according to all the other games, cats are extinct. Other than I think there was one mention of a kitty cat or a cat in Fallout 1, and then they became extinct. Power armor. Where did T60 come from? T51B was the top of the line power armor in every single game except for Fallout 4. XO1 being pre-war. Well, I don't buy that either. That's another broken piece of lore. Quite honestly, you guys, Bethesda, you need to keep it straight with the lore. You need to keep it straight with the weapons. You need to keep it straight with everything else. And most of all, don't lie to us anymore. We're tired of it. I mean, I looked forward to Fallout 4 for years. Okay, Fallout 3 was a good game. Fallout New Vegas was a better game. Okay, waited for Fallout. 7 years in development. 7 years in development. It looks like it was written in about a week. All right, the basic dialogue and storyline were written in under a week. I guarantee it. It looks like the whole game was slapped together on spur of the moment. Oh, we got to do another Fallout game. Was what your thinking was. 7 years people waited for this. I waited longer. 5 years if you count in New Vegas, but okay. So either way, I had a 7 to 9 year wait because I waited for Game of the Year because I'm not going to pay you the extra money for all this other stuff. It's bad enough. I had a system that worked. It was really nice, and I had to actually upgrade the hell out of my main gaming PC to Fallout 4, and I just went overdid it. But Fallout 4 is the worst of the Fallout franchise. Please, Bethesda, fix it. Fix the broken deal. Fix the broken dialogue. Fix the broken quest lines. Stop worrying about your creation club, because your creation club's terrible. And I want to be able to delete these extraneous BSA files that your creation club forced downloaded on me. I really don't want them on my computer system, unless you're going to pay me rent for my hard drive space. Hard drive space is a premium. It doesn't matter if I had 100 terabytes worth of hard drive. It's still my hard drive space. I don't want your extra stuff on there. I don't want mods that I'm never going to use or never going to buy, because I won't pay for a mod. I mean, if it comes to it, I will do it myself. I'm not, as soon as I figure out why on earth you went to Papyrus script over C++ script and other script forms that work better, that work just as good. I mean, really, Bethesda, come on. Get your head out your butt and fix this game and learn from it, and learn from CD Projekt Red and Witcher 3. It was just an incredible game. I'm going to play it again sooner or later here, but right now I'm working on dealing with my first YouTube video and blasting out this review. I have all the DLCs. I've had to add extra mods that I really shouldn't need. Mods for settlement building. I don't want to do settlement building. Okay, I want to play Fallout. Mods that increase settlement limits, because most of these settlements are too small. Mods that fix certain issues with, like, frames per second. Mods that stuff that I shouldn't have to download. Stuff that I should not have to have just to play Fallout 4, because Fallout 4 just doesn't run. Excuse me. I'm sick and tired of this, and then I hear, you've got people ripping mods off and uploading them, and Bethesda does nothing. Well, Bethesda, I'm sorry, you need to really do something about it. Instead of taking the thief side, the person that stole the mod, and put it on your side, why don't you actually look into the original modder who's filing the complaint? Look into how long their mod's been up on whatever website their mod's been up on and was stolen from. I'm not going to mention. I don't want to mention mod sites, because that just sometimes draws unnecessary attention. But I really think that Bethesda's trying to clamp down on modders with the Creation Kit and the Creation Club. I really do. I think they're trying to thwart any and all modders from actually doing anything with the game, so that they can make profit from it. Until Bethesda shows me different, because they've said how much that we love modders, we love modders, we love modders, we like that people mod our games. If that's true, then why are all the Steam achievements disabled if somebody uses a mod? Steam is your partner, and you can tell Steam not to do that, but you didn't. Okay, the horsepower armor mod that I saw, that's a joke. That might be an inside joke to you, but it's not funny to everybody else that got ripped off for horse armor on your Skyrim paid mods. You got Pete Hines out there, who 1 minute will tell you one thing, the next minute will tell you another thing. He gets mad. He treats fans and people that question him because they've caught him lying. Treats fans and consumers. Consumers are your customers. They pay your salaries by buying your products. Treat people like crap, and you're in public relations. You cannot do that. Okay, I worked in various industries most of my life. I was a game tester from around 1999 to about 2011. The last game I tested was Duke Nukem Forever. And of course, developers don't always listen to the testers. I offered to test Fallout 4 for Bethesda. They wouldn't have me. That's fine. I wouldn't have messed around with the settlement system. I would have gone right for the dialogue and everything, and the weapons play and everything else. I just don't get it. I just don't understand why they can be a AAA gaming company and release broken games one after another. Every game they've released has been broken in some way. It either crashes, locks up, whatever. They claim they don't want Obsidian to ever do another Fallout game. Um, you might want to rethink that, Bethesda, because they can write better than you. They write a way better Fallout game than you. They produce a way better Fallout game than you. I get it. Obsidian's unstable at times, and all companies go through growth spurts and shrinkage and everything else. You don't want them to produce another Fallout game, then buy them. Why don't you buy them outright? Bring them into your family, or hire the Fallout creators that work for Obsidian to come to work for you on a Fallout game. Subcontract them, if that's what needs be. Subcontract them. Let them come and write for you. Hire Chris Avallone to write Fallout for you. Hire Tim Kaine to work on Fallout for you. Anything's better than this last edition of Fallout. To me, it's almost exactly the same as Fallout 3. Okay? In Fallout 3, you lose your father and you have to go look for him. Fallout 4, you lose your son and go look for him. Well, but the difference is the writing's terrible in Fallout 4. Fallout 3 was a little bit better. And I know I know the writers are the same. It's kind of the same as Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. But something's happened with your writing staff, or it's on production that's not doing what's doing. And the voice protagonist was something that never should have existed in Fallout. And I'm sorry, the voice acting is just not what I would consider representative of me as a player, as the player character. I'm not criticizing the acting ability of anybody. I'm just stating that the voice protagonist doesn't voice things the way I would voice them, or the way I would hear them in my head when I was playing Fallout 4, Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas. It's a total, it doesn't belong there. Get rid of it. I mean, and the dialogue system is terrible. I mean, you're locked into 4 choices. You're locked into some of them tree out a little bit, but most of them don't. Being able to tell Preston Garvey to no, I'm not going to do this for you. You can't do it. You really can't do it. You tell him no a little bit, but eventually you wind up stuck doing it anyway. Because you can't progress any farther in a Minuteman quest. You can't. In the other quest you can't progress in either. Okay. There's just so many things, so many little things. I just don't get it. I mean, okay, your wife gets shot and then she's refrozen. She could have been saved. You could have saved her. Open up the thing, hit her with a stim pack. That's the way it works, right? I mean, after all, the courier was shot in the head and Doc Mitchell patched him up and brought him back to life, right? Courier shot in the head and buried in a graveyard, dug up by a robot, and Doc Mitchell revived him and fixed him up. Your wife was shot in the head. Why couldn't you have done the same and gone looking with her for your son? Yeah, I mean, the plot line is terrible. The storyline is terrible. Almost every single storyline. The only character in there, a lot of people say that Nick Valentine has an interesting storyline. Yeah, sort of. Kate's got an interesting storyline. Piper's boring. Dance is extremely boring. Curie's kind of interesting, but not as interesting as Kate is. And without other mods, yeah, I wouldn't play this game. I wouldn't have even wasted my money. I mean, I just don't get it. I mean, I really don't. I'm dumbfounded. You know, I've been playing games since the 1970s, the first video games that ever came out. I played Space Invaders on the year it came out. I played Space Invaders in an arcade for 5 days straight. And everybody knows Space Invaders is kind of a boring game, right? Well, back then it was pretty exciting, especially if you could reset the clock on the machine with only 1/4. Yeah, video games used to cost a quarter in the arcade, by the way. Fallout 4 is not the game it should be. It's not the game that you could have made. You waited 7 years to produce another Fallout game. Your other games aren't all that great either. It's my understanding that you've taken over Doom, and you've taken over this one and that one and whatever else. I played the original Doom when it first came out. I think it was on a Windows 95 machine. I played the original Heretic, the original Duke Nukem series, the original Fallout, and the original Wasteland series when they first came out. And I still have the original Wasteland, Fallout 2, and Fallout Tactics, and I have to maintain an old Windows 98 machine so that I can play them every once in a while and enjoy them, because I won't download them from Steam. That's the other thing. Steam's gotten better, but it's worse at the same time. There's no way to actually contact tech support. You post it on a forum and hope tech support gets back to you. That's just not cool. Bethesda tech support, that's the same thing. I mean, you contact tech support and pray like hell that they get back to you. When I was having problems with Fallout New Vegas, I was on Facebook. I found Obsidian Studios. I contacted them. They asked me what the issue was. I says, man, the thing just keeps crashing the desktop. No matter what I do, it crashes the desktop. I gave my system overview, my system requirements, and everything else, what my system had in it. They, 72 hours later, there was an update, and it stopped. The game stopped crashing all the time. They fixed it. I contacted Obsidian directly, and they fixed it. Bethesda, no, they got your money. They don't care if your game's broke. That's the way it seems to me, anyway. And I know an older couple, another couple here. Her husband's a disabled veteran. He found the Fallout 3 in 2008 and started playing it, and it helped him with his PTSD. He moved on to Fallout New Vegas, and he has almost as much time into Fallout New Vegas as I do. His wife recently wrote Todd Howard a letter because they don't understand the system requirements. The video cards that were given as minimum system requirements and maximum system requirements aren't available anymore. They're outdated. Okay? So she wrote Mr. Howard a letter explaining to him what was going on. I guess her husband has terminal emphysema now. Probably from some sort of exposure because he doesn't smoke. And Todd Howard couldn't be bothered to get back to the woman. Okay? Yeah, that just shows that they just want your money. In the area I live in, I grew up in Boston. I grew up around Boston. In and around Boston. I moved to Tennessee to stay warm in the wintertime because I got tired of getting 8 feet of snow every February. And out here where I live in Tennessee, if you're on the cusp, the cable company, you have a cable company, and then you have DSL. And you can get DSL where the cable is, but you cannot get cable where the DSL is. Okay, this particular couple that wrote in to Mr. Howard lives on the DSL side, and the DSL is pretty terrible. I think it's 1.5 megabits a second. So it would be very difficult for him to sit there and download all of Fallout 4 off of Steam. I know she asked him a bunch of questions. He couldn't be bothered to respond to her. She wasn't trying to scam you, Mr. Howard. She was seriously asking to try to, give her husband a little bit more, a little enjoyment and a little peace in his life. And she couldn't be bothered to respond. The rest of it is Fallout 4, I'm not going to say it again. Fallout 4 is not a proper Fallout game. It is not. The dialogue is terrible. The storyline is terrible. The weapon, the gunplay, I don't really see any difference other than the fact that now you can left-handedly throw a hand grenade. It's, to me, I just don't get it. The gunplay. I don't think the gunplay is all that great. Right? Never has been. Never will be. I didn't expect it in Fallout. Duke Nukem or Doom, or I would expect better gunplay. Call of Duty, I would expect excellent gunplay. Fallout, I don't expect excellent gunplay. I expect excellent RPG. So the rest of the Fallout gamers that really were looking forward to this. I'm not talking about the guys that just picked up Fallout 4 and just started gaming in Fallout. With Fallout, I'm talking about the hardcore Fallout fans that really are disgusted by this. We're disgusted by the paid mods. We're disgusted by the division it's created in the modding community. The gaming community, oh my God, I've never seen such things so terrible. Console gamers hate PC gamers. PC gamers hate console gamers. Guys, come on, knock it off. We're all gamers. We all play the same games. Gaming on a console, gaming on a PC, it's what makes you happy, what makes you comfortable. I game on a PC. Why do I game on a PC? Because I like being able to troubleshoot a game when I'm playing it. I like being able to access the console if I need to. I don't use it to cheat. I could, but I don't. Other than if I'm like filming a video like this, I would put it on. I'd use a cheat so I didn't die, so my character didn't die while I'm sitting here trying to talk to you about it. Especially if I lose track. But I've seen some very hateful things done by console gamers against PC gamers. Mods stolen by console gamers to try to teach a PC gamer a lesson. Come on, really? Grow up, people. There's one individual on YouTube here that is so hateful and so vicious towards PC gamers. I don't know why YouTube hasn't pulled his videos. I'm not going to mention names. I don't do that. Unless it's something good. But I mean, really, we're all gamers. We all got to stick together with these gaming companies because they're just taking advantage of you. Okay, they're releasing substandard games that crash or have bugs in them. Okay, I mean, okay, one or two little bugs, fine, but a whole bunch of bugs like Fallout, like the Fallout franchise, Skyrim, Elder Scrolls, they all had bugs. Lots of them, lots and lots and lots of them. Okay, I hope CD Projekt Red has raised the bar for future AAA games because that's what it is. I mean, Witcher 3 is where it's at. Witcher 3 is probably the most awesome modern RPG game that I have played so far. Compared to Fallout 4 is like playing old Duke Nukem 3D compared to Witcher 3. Yeah, and that's something. Back in the day when they were pulling out Duke Nukem and Duke Nukem 3D and Heretic and Doom, gaming companies polished them. They were polished before they were released. They didn't come out and crash your system every other time. You didn't. Well, the graphics cards weren't all that great, so you didn't have to worry about frame rate per second. You were kind of stuck with what you had. But gaming companies didn't release games that were loaded with bugs like Bethesda does, and like other game companies do. I'm not going to just pick on Bethesda because there's other ones out there that use a Creation Engine or Gamebryo or whatever you want to call it, and their games are bugged too. Why? It's a bad engine. It might have been great 10 years ago. It's not anymore. Okay? It might have been great 15 years ago. It's not anymore. Okay? Now, I'm tired of the people getting ripped off. I feel like I was ripped off for Fallout 4. Fallout 3 was a gift. Fallout New Vegas was a gift, but I have 2 copies, but I bought a second copy for $20. And because I have it on a separate PC so I can play one game modded one way and one New Vegas modded the other way. Fallout 4, I won't buy a second copy. I could go down to Walmart right now and pick one up for $20. And you guys all paid $60, $70, $100, whatever, for your Fallout 4 and your DLCs or your season pass. It was a waste of money. At best, Fallout 4 should be a $30 game. Should have been a $30 game upon its release. Okay? $29.95. It's about all it's worth. The crashing, it crashes all the time on me. It shouldn't, but then again, it doesn't. Their game engine doesn't like to recognize AMD Radeon video cards, and it's not that I don't have a system for it because I really do. I just don't know what else to say. This is my first YouTube video. I don't know how it's going to be received. I really, I'm not going to take comments about PC God, all God PC gamers or console peasants or any of that because it's just not. We're all gamers. We all need to stick together and demand from these companies better quality games than what we're getting. If you're a Fallout fan and in a Fallout franchise, hit me up and tell me what's Tell me what your biggest beef with Fallout 4 is compared to Fallout 3 and Fallout New Vegas, Fallout 1, 2, Fallout Tactics, whatever. Tell me what your biggest beef is with it. For me, it's the dialogue and the lack of a thick, nice, deep, thick storyline. Um, and all the stupid little fetch quests and the broken quest lines. That kills me the most is the broken quest lines. Bethesda, patch it, damn it. I mean, excuse my language, but Bethesda, you need to patch it. You need a serious game patch to fix these broken quests. And I know I'm all over the place here, people. This is my first video. I didn't script this. I had scripted it, but the script is too long and very boring. I'm still working on it. I'm still learning. Hopefully this video will upload to YouTube. And as you can see by some of this gameplay right here, as I'm speaking, look at the seconds ticking as it goes into a load screen into where is that? Yeah, this meeting Preston Garvey. I mean, you're kind of locked into what your gameplay is locked into. You got to do this and do this, or you can't do this. Okay, you have no choices whatsoever. I can't skip Preston Garvey. Go find somebody to build that thing to transport me to the institute. It's either Garvey, the railroad, Brotherhood of Steel. I don't think there's anybody else. Yeah, you got three places you can go have that thing built to get you into the institute. Off the top of my head, I can't remember what it's called now. You're stuck with the storyline. There is no independent parties. There's no, the best one of the DLCs is Far Harbor, and it's still not a great DLC. I mean, that's why I didn't want to pay it. That's why I didn't want to do what everybody else did and buy it when it first came out. That's how they suckered everybody. You had to prepay for it to be guaranteed a copy of it. Well, stop prepaying for it. Wait till it comes out. Wait till it gets released. Make them wait. Make them wait for you to make them come to you. Instead of saying, oh, you buy it here, you get this and this and this. Well, no, you don't. You're still paying the same amount of money, if not more, because now it's got to be shipped to you. I mean, they only have like 4 choices on their website where to buy it. And they don't fix anything. They don't fix the broken quests. They don't fix the broken dialogue. They don't fix anything that everybody's complained about. They're more concerned with downloading more Creation Club crap onto your computer with every update. Okay? And those of you that don't use Script Extender, I'm sorry. Those of us that do use Script Extender, those guys at Silverlock, you guys are pretty good. An update comes out within a day or two, you have a fix for us. Thank you very much for that, and I thank every single modder out there that's worked very hard, that's not just in it for the money. Every single modder that supports their mods and takes care of people when they have a problem. And those of you that don't, maybe you ought to just give up the modding until you're ready to fix your broken stuff. I know that with one of my mods, I spent 2.5 weeks troubleshooting a bad download to find a bad download, and have people contact me about my mods that I very specific with my mods. You need this, this, and this and your load order needs to be this way for this mod to work correctly. If their load order didn't match, or they didn't have Script Extender or whatever else I specified, there was nothing I couldn't fix it for them. They had to fix that for themselves. But I always supported my mods. My mods that are still up, if they weren't hidden, I'd still be supporting them. But I just don't see these people on this website that don't take care of their mods. And if I get enough people that like this video, maybe I'll do a few mod playthroughs to highlight the mods that I like, and I'll take suggestions to review mods. I said, I'm an old guy. I ramble. I tell stories. That's the way it is. I've got grandchildren, so yeah. I just don't. This whole Fallout 4 thing just blows me away as to the horrible, horrible game that it actually is. I mean, it's not a bad game. Don't get me wrong. It's not a bad game. It's just not a Fallout. It's just not a good Fallout game. Okay. It's a good first-person shooter with RPG elements. It might be a good city building simulator if the settlement building system actually worked right. Um, but as far as Fallout's concerned, it's not Fallout. This is not Fallout. This is Doom or one of the other one of the insert first person shooter game here, and without all the perks of being a first person shooter. The other thing that really cheesed me off is they got rid of the karma system. They got rid of the skill system. The perk system's just it's lousy. Half the perks don't work. I mean, I had one character play through a intimidation perk. I maxed it out. Guess what? I couldn't make it work. Um, there's a lot of things I've messed around with this game, and quite honestly, it's just not Fallout to me. It's not Fallout to a lot of people, And I've been rambling here for a good 45 minutes. Um, quite honestly, Bethesda, please, if you hear this or see this, get your head out your butt, fix this broken stuff. Start treating. Tell Pete Hines either start treating your customer base better, or fire his ass. And that's from somebody who's in management. Fire his ass. Okay, if he doesn't want to treat people right, pull him off Twitter, pull him off Facebook, set him down and say, look, well, here's your new job, and put him in a closet somewhere where he doesn't have to interact with the public. Because he's just pissing people off. He's not making you any more new fans. He's pissing off the fan base. All right. I got there's guys out there, Jim Sterling, who shoots straight. I love it. Love his dry. I love his reviews. Gopher, I love Gopher's reviews. Oxhorn, I love your playthroughs and your mod musters. MXR, I love a lot of the your mods that you do, but buddy, you're getting flagged a lot on YouTube. You maybe ought to chill the language a little bit. But other than that, I love the stuff. I love watching your stuff. There's a few others out there. Zakarian. I like your straight up approach to everything. You guys have been very educational to me, and I'm an old guy, and you younger guys have educated me a little bit. And I thank you for listening to this old fart ramble, this old man ramble about the gaming industry in general. I mean, really, honestly, truthfully, people, send Bethesda a message. Don't buy any more Bethesda games until they fix the games that they already have out there that are broken. It's just not fair to the consumer to spend all this money on a game and not have it work properly. I spent $60 on. Again, I spent $115 on Fallout 4 so I could get the Pip-Boy edition when it was released for Game of the Year. I spent $60 on $59.99 on Witcher 3. I got 16 free DLCs and a couple of paid ones. For some reason, and CD Projekt Red doesn't seem to mind the mods either. So, for some reason, I just think I'm getting a better deal with CD Projekt Red, and maybe they should take over Fallout. Or maybe Obsidian should take over Fallout because the writing's better. Anything's better than what we've got on this current edition of Fallout. Alright, Skyrim Special Edition. I have no desire to play Skyrim anyway. I don't like Skyrim. I never did. I thought the few times I played the Elder Scrolls stuff, the games are so bugged that it just turned me completely off. Right? And Fallout, because I'm a diehard Fallout fan, I'm going to play Fallout. But I'm expecting a Fallout game. I'm not expecting a first-person shooter with something like a settlement building system in it. I would prefer to have the puzzles and the dialogue and the challenges, speech challenges, and karma challenges. And okay, so you went out there and you wiped out this group, and now this other group hates you, or the remainder of this group hates you now. That works. You did this for this group, and they love you. They idolize you. That works. Okay, that works. That's the way it should be, and that's the way original Fallout was written. If Bethesda can't stick to it, then they need to give the title to somebody else or sell the title to somebody else that can stick to the Fallout lore and the Fallout and the way things work in Fallout. are supposed to work in the Fallout series. I'm a diehard Fallout fan. Again, hey, I'm not a fan of Fallout 4. Maybe if we get a Fallout 5, maybe it'll be better. Maybe they'll get rid of their writing staff that kind of just dropped the ball on this one and get somebody in there that knows how to write Fallout games. All right, I don't know about, again, I don't know about Skyrim and Elder Scrolls and stuff. I haven't played through them. You know, my little bit of experience with them, they crashed and they were really bugged, and I didn't bother fixing it. I just said forget it. They were giving it to me anyway. So anybody, Skyrim players, can tell me if the dialogue is better or worse than Fallout, or the same, or if they think the dialogue is bad. I'd like to hear from them. I guess that's about it, people. I'd like to thank every single modder out there who's worked so hard to make mods for all the Fallout games and all games in general. That has shown real promise, and it should probably ought to be working for a gaming company. And if I do a mod review, there's at least one person I know that really, I suspect that they do work for a gaming company, but they might not. And I can tell you right now, their mods are incredible. And the rest of you guys that, you PC gamers and you console gamers, come on, get together. You're gamers. You're not, there's no PC master race, there's no console peasant race. You're all gamers. Get it together and stop the fighting. Stop the back and forth on YouTube. It's not productive to anybody, and it's not really all that interesting. It gets lame and boring after a while. And I thank anybody else who listens to this old man ramble and watch this somewhat shoddy playthrough here. Like I said, this is my first YouTube video. If anybody wants to hear anything more from me, please let me know. I'd be more than happy to do mod reviews. I will be happy to review your mod. If you're a modder and you want someone, independent someone to check out your mod and let you know how it is, I don't have a problem with it. If you want me to test one of your mods, I will test your mod. Just let me know. I'm retired now, so I get to sit home and play video games all day if I want to. And you just, and like I said, you guys, modders, I'll help you out any way I can. If you got a mod you want to showcase that nobody else has put showcased on or showcased for you, feel free to hit me up and let me know where your mod's at, and I'll go download it and check it out for you. I'll give you an honest, brutal, straight up review, because that's the kind of person I am. I will tell you this mod's either great or this mod's terrible, and I will tell you why. I will tell you what my problems with it were. It'll be constructive criticism. If I load up your mod, my gaming instantly crashes, we know we got a problem. Because I will not get rid of my settlement mods. And the companion mods I have, I won't get rid of either, unless you offer me a new companion mod that's better. Okay, other than that, weapons mods, locations mods, this and that. And maybe if I decide to finish the little mod that I'm using for myself that I've made, maybe I'll upload it. But I don't trust this stuff with Bethesda.net now because of all the stolen mods. I don't trust. I'm not in it for the money. I'm in it for the fun. And a lot of people are too. You modders that want to get recognized, I understand you want a little donation. If I could afford to donate to you, I would. I can't. I'm retired. That's what happens when you retire. You have no money. But I'll test everybody's mod that wants to be tested. Just holler at me. And I thank everybody for listening to me ramble on for this almost hour here. I wish you all fun in games and good gaming. And I wish you all the best. Peace.